Welcome back, everyone, to the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem and a sleeping problem. My name is Joe. This is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
Some of us had very busy weekends and are still trying to recover.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there too.
I have an antler that's all askew.
This doesn't stay on my head. But we are doing, this month, we are doing the Higher Gravity Beervent calendar. If you don't know what that is, make sure you go back a few episodes because we discuss all about it in those. But without further ado, what is day number 9?
What? Day number 9 is Gunner's Daughter Milk Stout from Mast Brewing Company. It is a stout brewed with natural flavors and is 5.5% ABV. And that's, they've got a beautifully aromatic and balanced milk stout with delicious notes of peanut butter, coffee, and dark chocolate. It does contain lactose. It does not contain peanuts or nuts, even though it has notes of peanut butter.
It could be like Impossible peanut butter, like they have Impossible meat. I'm just going to take it off.
Our kids get the ability to wear headbands from you. I mean, there's like sunflower butter. That's a thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have all kinds of different ways to mimic flavor without actually using that flavor.
There are lots of nut juices available on the market, though it sounds a lot better when you call it like oat milk or almond milk. Or
just high fructose corn syrup and blue dye number 40 or whatever it is. The history of Mast Brewing Company. Mast Brewing Company was founded in the spirit of innovation, collaboration, and creativity. Since opening in 2016, we have showcased our beers at festivals across the country and internationally, shared them with new fans here in the Northeast, and poured them for countless locals and visitors at the tap room in Maine. We focus on brewing the highest quality beers while also using our independent and socially conscious mindset to support our local community and industry. Our goal is to make sure that each Mast beer that you drink is amazing, whether you're visiting us in Maine or enjoying a pour at your favorite bar or restaurant with family and friends. Do you want me to go on?
I mean, you should probably talk about the beer for a hot second.
Okay.
I mean, it's milk stout. It's dark. It has a tan head that went away pretty quick.
Ooh, I can definitely smell the peanut butter.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's in it, but it smells like peanut butter.
I don't know either. But
Does this... It definitely... I haven't tasted it yet, but it kind of reminds me of Nutcase.
It does remind me of Nutcase. And I do have Nutcase pumpkin in the fridge down here.
It reminds me of a chocolate Nutcase, essentially. Roasty, smooth, incredibly smooth. Is there vanilla in this?
It says notes of dark chocolate and coffee, which I think the roastiness I get is coffee.
Yeah, dark chocolate. I don't know. It's incredibly smooth. Sometimes the milk stouts, the West Side one does this. It's a bit bitter because real chocolate is bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Actual chocolate, yeah.
Yeah, not like
the fake stuff.
Hershey's.
Yeah. High fructose corn syrup, which is not actually chocolate. And milk chocolate, like what we eat in the States. Like every candy that we eat here is not real chocolate. But the dark chocolate, it's typically bitter. You have to be in the mood for that, I feel like.
I'm always in the mood for it.
for bitterness. This one is very smooth. It's not overly bitter. I would say it's not bitter, not very bitter at all. It's like very low bitterness. It's amazing, like what people consider stouts and versus porters versus like the style. Just it varies, tremendously based on the brewer, which is amazing. I love the variability in the beer industry. So continuing on about Mast Landing. The Mast Landing tasting room in Westbrook first opened to the public in 2016, but the history of the brewery stretches back years before then. As Ian and Kelly Dorsey homebrewed with their friend Neil Frederick in their Freeport garage. While their excitement for homebrewing grew, they shared an interest for craft beer with their friends Mike and Sarah Capen, who were stationed in San Diego. After immersing themselves in the San Diego craft beer scene for a year, the Capens returned to Maine with a wide array of new beers for the rest to try. The whole group used this jumping off point to take the garage explorations to the next level. Like many of their peers, the hobby turned into an obsession, especially as the beers got more adventurous and consistent. The idea of taking the project to the next level started as a kernel and grew thanks to the support of family and friends, as well as guidance of local industry professionals. Along with planning and brewing came the creative side of things. The name of the brewery is inspired by the historic Mast Landing region of Maine, where the King of England would source trees for the masts of his ships in pre-colonial times. A strong sense of history, of place, and of community is core to the company's mission. And invoking the stories of the past gives us inspiration to build forwards into Maine's future. So that is about them.
Mm-hmm. I found some more about the history of Gunner's Daughter because it's one of their flagship beers. So the history of Gunner's Daughter. You may be wondering how our flagship beer came to be. Was it a scheme we had from day one? An inspirational light bulb moment after a late night of brainstorming? The short answer is this beer wrote the story itself. As we began to create the first draft for Mast Landing's tasting room back in 2016, we knew we wanted to feature a dark beer to round out the lineup. After tasting some exceptional offerings from across the country that incorporated notes of peanut butter and hazelnut, we decided to see if we could create something similar without any actual nuts in the recipe. So, this recipe is nuts, but contains no nuts.
Gotcha. It's nut-free.
It's nut-free, which is nuts, because it tastes like nuts.
It does.
As visitors started trickling into the tasting room, we found more and more people were making Gunner's Daughter their go-to. We knew that we loved it the first time we tasted it, but the response from our early supporters was truly inspiring. It became clear that even if we wanted to take Gunner's off the menu, which we didn't, it was such a fan favorite that we couldn't leave. So since then, they've poured countless pints, shared across the country, packaged thousands of them, and they've given it the nitro treatment. They've added coffee, vanilla, and coconut, and they have an imperial and barrel-aged version. In 2021, they rolled out a brand new label for their 16-ounce cans, along with a coconut and imperial coffee variation. And in celebration of the second Gunner's Daughter's Day, 2022 brought new variations where they brewed over 75,000 gallons of this beer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beer.
That's a lot of beer. So.
Although I don't know how many barrels that is.
I don't know either. And they're in Freeport, Maine, because I was going to say, are they in Portland, Maine? Because I know Portland, Maine is a big brewing city, just like Portland, Oregon is a big beer city, because on Have a Drink show, which they haven't posted something in a long while, they talk about from Portland to shining Portland when they talk about the country.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy this beer.
I do too.
Haven't been to Oregon or Maine, but it sounds like both places have good beer.
Yeah.
I would probably rather go to Maine than Oregon.
I would love to go hiking. So yes, Maine would make that a little bit easier to do. And then have the sunrise at like 4 o'clock in the morning because you're on the extreme other side of the Eastern time zone.
In Maine?
Yeah. They're at the start of the Eastern time zone. We're towards the end of the Eastern time zone.
I didn't know there are variations in time zones.
Well, like, because the sun can't set at like 6 p.m. in the entire Eastern time zone. It'll set at like 5 p.m.
I thought that was the whole point of a time zone.
in Virginia. But we're on the other side of the time zone. So it's like,
Sun is big.
and there's no trees or mountains or anything in the way. It's just ocean. So you get the sunset, you get the sunrise off the ocean. So it's super mega early. There's like a thing where like in the summer, people will wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning so they can go to the coast and see a Maine sunrise. I have to Google that.
Does not compute. I know a lot of crazy people live in Maine. Like all of Stephen King, according to Stephen King at least.
Yeah.
Because all of his books take place in Maine. And they're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have a whole sunrise sunset calendar thing. Like it's a deal. Let's see here. Today is December 9th. Holidays. It's National Pastry Day, according to nationaltoday.com.
Okay.
Christmas card day, which I need to work on our Christmas cards. You just want to make a clip so you can hear me say that Coolsville sucks. International Anti-Corruption Day.
International
Day of Veterinary Medicine. Oh, we should have got something for the vet today.
Yeah, both of our dogs went to the vet.
Lost and Found Day. Ring up your sister and ask for the pair of jeans she, quote, borrowed on one occasion. That's what they have at the end of that. National Llama Day. National Opal Apples Day. It's Tanzania's Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, Tanzania.
I don't think Jason follows this calendar.
I mean the pastry day one.
It's not a pastry.
But it's not a pastry stout.
It's not a pastry.
It's just a milk stout. It would be really good with the pastry.
Well, what makes it a pastry stout? Just
I think you have to throw pastries in the mash. Like
No.
donuts. I don't know.
no, you're not allowed to do that. I thought, like when people have Skittles in their beer, you're not allowed to put Skittles in their beer, like literally.
What
I think it's just lactose, to be honest. Just it makes it really sweet.
According to hopculture.com, it most commonly refers to a stout brewed with intentionally sweet and often made with plenty of sugary ingredients, usually to mimic a dessert's flavor and sometimes appearance. At first, it was a very divisive category, but pastry stouts have gained traction beyond imagination over the past few years. So it's like supposed to be a dessert beer.
Dessert beer.
Mm-hmm.
So lactose is something that has sugar in it.
Yeah.
So that this is brewed with lactose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is probably not a pastry stout.
I don't think it is either.
I think it has to be like. I think a pastry stout is like big beers, like 8%.
So according to the Brewers Association, it's a strong sweet beer with a dark base. These beers incorporate culinary ingredients to create sweet flavor profiles that mimic the character of desserts or pastries. Wisely consumed as a digestif, this style of beer is perfect for generating conversation at the end of a meal.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Enough about pastry stouts. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this beer or this brewery?
It's delicious. We should probably go to Maine at some point, but it won't be for a while.
Yeah.
I want to go to a beach.
Maine is not a beach.
I mean, there is a beach in Maine, but you
Very,
can,
very rocky.
yeah, and there's only so much of the year where it's actually enjoyable.
Well, if you're still watching this, us rant about pastry stouts, we appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for watching. We are the Craft Parenting Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. We are doing this every day, or most of the month at least, and
We're going to try. We have no buffer.
Yeah, we have no buffer. So I guess you got your wish, Gnarly Gnome. Mm-hmm. We're doing it the hard way.
Yep.
But this is day 9. We'll be back again for day 10 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But if you like this video,
slam that like button, smash subscribe, that notification bell.
And if you're listening to us on audio, please give us that 5-star review. And make sure you share the show with your friends as well. That helps us grow. Mm-hmm. If you want to follow us on Facebook, we are on social media, including Facebook, YouTube, of course, Instagram, X, Rumble. And if you want to follow me personally, I'm at Craft Parenting Joe.
And I'm at Caroline Creates Crafts.
On Instagram.
Yep.
Both on Instagram.
Do it for the gram.
And with that, we'll see you guys tomorrow.